Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn and I'm so grateful you are here. This is our weekly energy reading where we are gaining a deeper understanding and higher conscious awareness of the overall energy for this coming week and how we can remain in alignment, how we can navigate it as our higher selves. So this is very much so a higher self energy reading, and given that we are approaching a full moon in Cancer, our first full moon of the year on January 17th, which is Monday, we are also going to be gaining clarity on the energy of this first full moon of the year. So I'm really excited to see what comes up. I feel called to take a deep breath together. So if you would like to join me in that, go ahead and just get comfortable. Place your hands wherever you feel called. I'm going to go ahead and place my right hand over my heart to really tune into my body. Let's take a deep inhale. Pause at the top and exhale. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. I have cleansed myself. I've cleansed my decks, my space. I always make sure to really step into these readings with an open channel, only to receive the highest of vibrations for our highest good. I always set the intention that those who are meant to receive the messages from this reading align to this video. So if you align to this video, then there may be some messages that you are meant to hear. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you again for being here. I'm so honored to receive and relay these messages for us, because these messages are just as much for me as they are, or as you feel they are for you. And I also would like to share that I do offer one-on-one energy readings. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one energy reading with myself, I'll leave the link in the description below, as I do with all my energy readings. As I prepare for this reading and I shuffle the decks and all of that, some cards have the tendency to come up in preparation for the reading, and we have some messages here that are already trying to make themselves known to us, but I'm going to check in and see if there are other messages that we're meant to receive. What is the overall energy for this upcoming week as we are approaching our first full moon in Cancer? Are there any other messages in regards to the overall energy that you would like for us to know, that you would like for us to dive into? Are there any other messages in regards to the overall energy, in regards to the Cancer full moon? I'm going to shuffle a few more times, see if there are any other messages aside from the ones that already came out in preparation for this reading. Are there any other messages? Guardians of the four corners, sacred ones, loving ancestors, spirit guides, mother in the earth, father in the sky, higher self, most high. Are there any other messages regarding the overall energy for this coming week, for this Cancer full moon, that you would like for us to tap into? Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go in order in which they came out. And by the way, I do live in the city, so if there are any external noises, neighborly noises, I'm going to set the intention that we're going to remain centered and grounded throughout this reading. All right, so the very first card that came out for us is the protection guardian, to drop your shields. I'm sensing that there has been this collective energy of almost giving into the energy of worry, of stress, of beginning to fear the unknown, And in some ways, our shields have been wanting to come up, or they are still up as we've stepped into this new year, and we're being called to drop our shields. We're being called to be vulnerable, to allow ourselves to be sensitive. And I feel like that is very much so in tune with the full moon and with Cancer, because Cancer is very like nurturing, motherly energy, that is holding safe space for us to feel, to really come into our truth, to express ourselves as we are, to show up as we are. And I feel this is just an affirmation, a gentle reminder that we are protected. We are protected. Whatever it is that you are going through right now in your journey, you are divinely protected. You don't have to give into the worry. You don't have to give into the stress. You don't have to give into all of these emotions that may be arising out of fear, out of uncertainty, out of unknowns, out of perhaps you not knowing, what the next move is, what the next, unfoldment of your journey may be. Drop your shields. Be vulnerable. Be open to the unknown. Be open to receive. Be open to whatever may come up under this full moon and in this coming week. Be open to how your life is unfolding, and drop your shields. Like, don't harden yourself, like let yourself be soft. So I feel like that is just the main overall energy that I'm sensing here, is just like, I'm divinely protected. My life is divinely unfolding. I trust that all is well in my life. And me hardening my heart, me putting up a wall is not going to serve me. Okay? Let's continue to see what else we've got here. The other card that came up is the Trader. It's exchange energy to create abundance, which I find very interesting, because when I was channeling the prompts for this full moon in Cancer, which if you haven't seen that video yet, I already dropped. I'm going to put it in the cards here and in the description below. One of the prompts is referring to bringing more balance into our lives, because I feel called that is something that we're needing to do at this time. Like, this is really an optimal time for us to be focusing on the foundation of which we're going to be building upon throughout the year. And the prompt is asking us to bring balance into our lives by being mindful of how we want to show up in the world, how we want to give more of ourselves, and how we want to receive. And this is exactly touching on that prompt, touching on that intention of that prompt, touching on us creating more balance into our lives, and acknowledging that when we give and when we receive, we are in that state of flow, and we are creating abundance in our lives. Because when we are giving too much, when we are receiving too much, when we're taking too much, when we're holding ourselves back, when we're being out of balance with our energy, right? We are creating these stagnancies. We are creating these blockages. We are reflecting scarcity in some way, shape, or form, right? Whether we are giving too much because we're afraid that if we don't give too much, we're gonna lose something or someone. And same goes with when we're taking too much, when we're receiving too much. We're afraid that if we don't receive as much, then we're not going to have enough. Then we're going to miss out. Then, it's just this rooted fear in scarcity. And we're being called to embody the energy of the Trader and remind ourselves to exchange energy. And create abundance in our lives by creating this energy. So by exchanging this energy. So if you have been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling stagnant, if you've been feeling blocked, if you've been feeling scarce, if you've been feeling lack, and you want to welcome more abundance into your life. You want to be more abundantly minded. You want to really welcome and receive and embody the abundance that is available to you. Then place some of your attention and focus on exchanging energy, and what does that look like? And it's going to be different for all of us, right? Some of us are more of givers in certain areas of our lives and more takers in certain areas of our lives, and it's really all about assessing those areas and seeing how we can bring more balance, how again, referring back to the prompt. So if you really resonate with this message, I encourage you to do that prompt. How do I feel called to give more of myself, and how do I feel called to receive, with the intention to bring more balance into my life, with the intention to create more abundance in my life. And it really is so powerful for us to be exchanging our energy, because again, it's just this like constant flow of the infinite energy that is within and without us. So this is the week, this is the time under this moon to really embody the trader. And we also got the broken arrow to embrace the energy of peace. And I feel like that is just, kind of goes hand in hand with the protection guardian. To drop our shields is to, again, let go of the anxiousness, the anxiety, the stress, the worry, whatever is causing us to retreat. And when I say retreat, because, under this full moon, we are going to be called to retreat into ourselves, to turn inward. But the kind of retreat that I'm referring to is more so like a retraction, more so of like, closing yourself off. And sometimes that's because we're not embracing the energy of peace. And it's important that as we're stepping into this new year, we are affirming that we are also stepping and ascending into a higher timeline where our peace is our priority, right? There is a way for us to live this life where our peace is a top priority, to the point where nothing outside of us can disturb that inner peace, because it's that important to us. So embrace the energy of peace. Drop your shields. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to tune into your sensitivity and be at peace, right? Be at peace. Affirm yourself. And that's what this reading is here, right? It's here to affirm you. It's here to remind you. We also got the animal guardian to trust your instincts. This is the last card that came out right now. And again, if you've been watching these energy readings, the theme, the encouragement, the reminder of our instincts and the importance of trusting our instincts, strengthening our relationship with our instincts, tapping into our intuition is consistently coming up. And I feel like that is just something that we really need to intend to strengthen and tune into and heal. Is our instinctual gift, is our intuition. Because when we're not navigating our lives, our divine journeys with our gift of intuition, then we are misled, we are misguided, we are influenced by energies outside of us. And it's important that we tune in, that we are in alignment with our instincts, our intuition. So I feel like that is just a gentle reminder, again, that is coming up, of like the importance of our instincts, the importance of our intuition, and trusting it and strengthening it and being in conversation with it more than we have in the past. So if you are still working on your New Year intentions, if you plan on setting intentions under this full moon, if you plan on reflecting under this moon, then placing some of your focus and attention towards, You know, what is my relationship with my intuition, with my instincts like currently, and how can I strengthen it? How, you know, can I begin to repair and heal that bond? How can I begin to trust myself and my intuition and my instincts more? Because you have that gift. You have that gift. All right. What energies do we align with? Should any challenges arise this week? Should any challenges arise this upcoming week, or under this Cancer full moon? What energies do we align with? What energies do we align with? Should any challenges of any shape, form arise? What energies do we align with to properly and high vibrationally respond to this challenge? I'm gonna shuffle a few more times. We already have some cards here. I just want to check and see if any more messages want to come up in regards to... Okay. So again, I'm going to go in order here of the cards that came up. So the first one, when this came out, I was like, okay, this is going to be a really beautiful reading that's in alignment. We got protection. And what's the other first card that we got? Yeah, that, my friends, is not a coincidence, okay? We are divinely protected. We are divinely protected. You, my friend, are protected. When a challenge arises, whether it's a mental challenge, physical challenge, spiritual challenge, energetic challenge, professional challenge, financial challenge, whatever the challenge may be, again, remind yourself that putting a wall up, retracting, and, you know, closing off from yourself and the world, you know, giving into the fear in any way, shape, or form is not going to serve you. And you're not alone in this journey, okay? And I feel confident sharing this with you because I'm guessing you're already on a spiritual path yourself. That's why you're here watching a video like this and you're open to receiving guidance through energy readings. But I just want to, Spirit wants to remind you that you are divinely protected. First and foremost, any challenge arises, you are protected. And I want to see what the booklet says about this, because there's a tree here and we also got some thunder and lightning going on. So I'm curious to see what the booklet says. So let's just go ahead and affirm our protection here. I'm going to read one of the most potent signs on the sacred landscape is the ancient oak. It carries numerous meanings. You are protected. You can weather anything. Your roots go deep. You can weather anything. Whatever weather you are experiencing in this season of your life, you can weather through it. You got this. You are protected. You know, you can grow through it. You can survive it. Your roots go deep. You are brave and you can survive anything. Stand strong. You carry the energy of a leader and you have great authority in life. Great wisdom is expanding within you and others sense this. This card can also mean to protect your assets. Take care to guard and protect your home, your loved ones, and yourself. Great wisdom is expanding within you. My friends, when a challenge arises, when stormy weathers come into the forecast of our lives, you know, what wisdom can we gain from this weather? What wisdom can we gain from this season? What wisdom can we gain from this challenge? We've also got pleasure, and, you know, again, touching on the card where we are encouraged to embrace the energy of peace. Peace, I feel, is very much so a reflection of pleasure, right? Allowing yourself to be peaceful, allowing yourself to prioritize peace even in the times of chaos, allowing yourself to remain in peace even in the times of chaos, is an expression of allowing yourself to give into pleasure, allowing yourself to be grounded in your essence. And, sometimes when we experience challenges in our lives, again, because we have the tendency to close off and tense up and, give into fear and start worrying and stressing and all of these things, we also, will sometimes have the tendency of trying to do shadow work and healing and trying to come up with solutions all the time. But sometimes the thing that will help us transcend, the thing that will help us alchemize, the thing that will help us transmute a dense energy into one that, enlightens and uplifts us, is by allowing ourselves to just be playful, to have fun, to go do something that we enjoy, to relax, to rest, to feel pleasure. So allow yourselves to feel pleasure, y'all. We also got forgiveness, okay? Amongst this full moon, full moons are, a time where cycles in our lives can be coming full circle, where, the light of the moon and the fact that it's full and it has all of its light and it's really shedding its light on our shadows, on the darkness, and feelings and past situations and experiences can rise to the surface. We can be feeling some type of way, right? We can feel triggered, all of these things can come up during a full moon, and we're being called, if something that comes up feels like a challenge in some way, shape, or form, practice some forgiveness. And you'll know if this, message is for you amongst this full moon and during this upcoming week. If you are someone who does need to tap into forgiveness, whether that's forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else, forgiving an experience, a situation, or both, right? So, y'all, we lastly but not leastly got fulfillment, which I think is very beautiful because we have the full moon here. We got a full peach. It's juicy, it's delicious, and full moons are the energy of fulfillment. And I feel like this is just a gentle reminder that if you are in a challenging season in your life at this time, if you do approach a challenging situation in this coming week under this Cancer full moon, you are being gently reminded that your life is coming into fulfillment. You are constantly coming into fulfillment, right? If a repetitive cycle keeps coming up, it's because it's intending to fulfill itself, and you're being called to complete, to close that cycle. Just like, the full moon is coming full circle, certain things in your life may come full circle, may come up again with the intention for you to fulfill it and really just allow it to come to a close and allow it to reach its highest self, allow it to reach its end point, and let it go and practice forgiveness, right? And, with the example of, I feel like we just have to accept that, everything in this life is temporary, and there is somewhat of an expiration date to people, places, and things. And there are those special select few energies in our lives that are meant to be in our lives infinitely and forever. And we spend many years enjoying this person, this thing, this environment, this situation. But most of the time, in essence, all of life is temporary and ever evolving and ever changing. And what I'm getting at is that it's important for us to know that, everything has a divine purpose in its life. When we meet someone, when we experience something, we're meant to experience it and that someone at that time. But there comes a time where it's reached its full potential, it's reached its fulfillment, it's reached, it's reached its destiny, it's fulfilled its destiny in your life, in our lives, and we have to be willing to let it go, to release it when it's time to be released. So like, for example, this peach, right, it spent all this time, with the tree that it grew from, and then it grew, experienced all these seasons with this tree, and then it reached its fulfillment. It reached its time where it's meant to be plucked off the tree and enjoyed in all its juicy, fruity deliciousness, right? So what aspects of your life, what relationships in your life have reached that fulfillment that may feel like a challenge? And it's time for you to pluck that fruit and enjoy it. And when you're done eating it, accept that it's done. And you're so grateful that you got to enjoy that delicious peach while you had it, while you grew with it. And more peaches are to come, right? Hopefully that made sense. But we're definitely meant to receive that message, because this full moon in Cancer is definitely a moon of fulfillment. What are we being called to heal in this upcoming week under this Cancer full moon? What are we being called to heal in this upcoming week under this Cancer full moon? What are we being called to heal in this upcoming week under this Cancer full moon? What are we being called to heal this week under this Cancer full moon? Are there any other messages other than the 3 that we have received already? Are there any other messages that we are meant to come to the awareness of? Are there any other messages that you would like for us to tap into? I'm going to shuffle a couple more times. I have a feeling like this one at the bottom of the deck is meant to... Yes, it is. Okay. So we've got unlimited possibilities, my friends. We are encouraged again to create abundance in our lives and come into the truth that abundance is available to us. We have unlimited possibilities in our lives. In what ways, shapes, or forms are you closed off? Are you creating these non-existent boundaries? Are you subscribing to illusions that certain possibilities aren't available to you? In what aspects of your life is your perception limited, and where do you need to expand that? A lot of the times we feel like we aren't abundant in certain aspects of our lives because we simply, have like a boundary. We have a limit to our perception, and we're not seeing the whole landscape. We're not seeing all that is available to us. We're not getting creative with the possibilities, right? We're not really fully tapped into the abundance that is available to us, and we're being encouraged to heal that. We're being encouraged to heal where we are imposing these self-limitations, where we are holding ourselves back, where we are, where we are blinded to the limitlessness, the boundlessness that surrounds us. So abundance seems to really be a theme that's coming up at this time, and perhaps a large part of the collective is still subscribing to that scarce mindset, is still, in that place of stagnancy, isn't really coming into forward motion because there's still, some of those self-limiting beliefs that are, taking up space. We also got sacred space And with this motherly, nurturing energy of Cancer and the full moon arising, these waves of emotions, you know, the moon, as we know, impacts the waves of and the tides of the ocean, right? It moves the ocean. And when the moon is full, it has an even, you know, fuller impact, a more powerful impact on the tides, on the waves, on the water of the ocean. And we're a body of water just like the ocean as well. So we are also feeling the movements of the moon. And when it's a full moon, we feel it even more. So we're being called to create a sacred space for ourselves under this full moon, have healing conversations with ourselves and with others, and really hold that safe space for ourselves the way that a Cancer full moon, you know, would want us to. We also got reunion of souls. This is a specific message to some of you who may be reuniting with a soulmate this upcoming week under this full moon or in the cycle of this full moon. And it's going to be a reunion that is going to be very healing. And a lot of the times when we think of reunion of souls, when we think of soulmate, when we think of twin flame, we immediately resort to the thought of like a romantic partner, right? But sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's a pet, sometimes it's a spirit animal, sometimes it's, you know, another family member, a coworker. Expand again your perceptions, your limited perceptions on certain words, and soulmate is one of them. So be open-minded as to who this reunion, who this soulmate may be. And you know, this reunion may be a challenging one, it may be an easeful one, but regardless, it's a healing one. That's why it's coming up as we're talking about, you know, what we're meant to heal this upcoming week or focus on healing under this full moon. So reunion of souls may be coming up, will be coming up for some of us. Lastly but not leastly, we got movement into balance. And my friends, again, as I was talking about the importance of us being mindful of our foundation at this time, and you know, us bringing more balance into our lives and relating that towards, you know, the importance of exchanging energy to create abundance. This is just an affirmation. This is another gentle reminder that yes, we are meant to bring more balance into our lives. You know, move into balance, move into balance. And all of these things that we're talking about, all of these messages that are coming up in this reading are assisting us into coming into balance. You know, us creating more abundance, us tapping into our abundance is going to create more balance into our lives. Us trusting our instincts is going to bring more balance into our lives. Us dropping our shields and coming into the knowing and really trusting that we are divinely protected is going to bring more balance into our lives. Us embracing the energy of peace is going to bring more balance into our lives. So literally all of these messages are really intending to assist us and remind us and encourage us to come into balance. So what are we called to surrender this upcoming week amongst this full moon in Cancer? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? Under this full moon in Cancer, what are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? Under this full moon in Cancer, our first full moon of the year, guardians of the four corners, sacred ones, ancestors, loving ancestors, spirit guides, spirit team, most high, mother in the earth, father in the sky. What are we meant to surrender this week? What do you encourage us to surrender this upcoming week under this first full moon of the year? What are we meant to surrender? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? We got one card here. I want to make sure that we get all the messages. What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? What are we meant to surrender this upcoming week? Anything else? Any other messages of surrender? Any other messages of surrender? Any other messages of surrender? Okay. Interesting. Okay, let me make sure that this is still recording, y'all, because as some of you know, I have been experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay, we're still good. Coming to a close. I'm surprised more, surrender didn't come up for us. But we got a couple here and they feel pretty specific. So, surrender your desire to control people. Us having the tendency to control others is a reflection of scarcity. So this does also relate to the theme of abundance that has been coming up in this reading. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. A lot of the times, if you are someone who has an anxious attachment style, if you are someone who does have, I think more so the anxious attachment, you'll have the tendency to become anxious of someone, becoming more distant. So you'll do everything you can to hold tightly onto that person to make sure that they don't let go, that they don't, leave your life because you're afraid of, losing that relationship. But it's important for us to heal that tendency. It's important for us to heal that anxiousness of losing people, because again, all of life is temporary, and it's important for us to acknowledge when things have come to fulfillment. So this is a specific message to some of you, and that also does assist us in coming into balance, because when we are holding on to something that we're meant to let go, we are again creating that stagnancy, we are creating that blockage, we are creating that resistance to the flow of our lives. And so when you let go and surrender your desire to control others, to control situations, you are welcoming more ease, more flow, more abundance, more balance into your life. We also got surrender comparisons with other people. Have you been comparing yourself to others, my friend? Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your strengths, attractiveness, and power, okay? Yes, yes, yes. We are not meant to be comparing ourselves to others, y'all. We're really not. It's a natural thing, but with the rise of technology and social media and all the information that we see about other people's lives, it really amps that up and it becomes unnatural. It gets to a point where it's excessive and we really are honestly disrespecting ourselves. We're disrespecting our divine unfoldment, our divine paths, our divine purpose. We are not honoring our own gifts, our own journeys in comparing ourselves to others, because it's important that we know that we're all on our own unique divine journey of unfoldment. No one journey is going to look the same. And we all experience seasons of grief and of success and of excitement and of sadness and of joy and of boredom and of uncertainty. We all experience this. We just all experience it at different times. Okay, focus on you. You deserve that. Honor your journey. Honor your divinity. Honor your purpose, your gifts. Focus on you. Okay? I'm not going to shuffle the affirmations deck because quite a few came up for us, and I know that we're meant to receive these. So let's get into our affirmations and bring this beautiful energy reading to a close. I accept my uniqueness. Look at that. Look at that. There is no competition and no comparison, for we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself. Look at that. Look at that. We also got, I am at peace with my sexuality. I rejoice in my sexuality and in my own body. My body is perfect for me in this lifetime. I embrace myself with love and compassion. This is in relation to the card of pleasure that we are being called to tap into. Okay, gift yourself some pleasure, y'all, whatever that looks like for you. I am at peace with my age. Yes, to embracing the energy of peace. Each age has its own special joys and experiences. I am always the perfect age for where I am in life. So perhaps some of you who have been comparing yourselves to other people, part of that has to do with you comparing your age to someone else's age. Like perhaps someone younger than you has accomplished more, quote unquote, than you have. Perhaps someone older than you. You know, like, we can really be all up in our heads in regards to age, and there's really no, like it says here, each age has its own special joys and experiences. I am always the perfect age for where I am in life. Yes, you are. It is safe to look within. Again, we are affirming our sacred space that we are healing. As I move through the layers of other people's opinions and beliefs, I see within myself a magnificent being, wise and beautiful. I love what I see in me. What a beautiful energy reading. I hope that you all resonated with at least one of the messages, and this reading was really affirming and gentle and uplifting for you and your spirit. If you did resonate with one or more of these messages, let me know which ones in the comments, as that is very affirming to me. And I'm just so honored again to receive and relay these messages for us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for bringing me into your present moment, for trusting me in offering this energy reading for the week ahead, for the upcoming Cancer full moon. I am wishing you all the most beautiful, clarifying, healing, uplifting, fulfilling Cancer full moon. And again, check out my journaling prompts video for this Cancer full moon to really accompany this and amplify this energy reading. They both complement each other very, very, very much. I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Bye.